I smell children. Marvelous.
Hey guys, trick or treat and happy Halloween! Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out and the sisters have returned to Salem. So today we're making a Hocus Pocus treat box with Sanderson Sisters strawberries, this bubbling cauldron, Breakable Heart, and Spellbook Brownies, all decorated with chocolate melts. These treats are perfect for your spooky movie night or Halloween party, cause you know, it's just a bunch of Hocus Pocus. And now that spooky season is here, I wanted to have a Halloween giveaway for you guys for your chance to win all of these marvelous goodies. There's lots of Halloween molds and sprinkles here to create your spooky and scary treats. You'll win a vial of Halloween sprinkle mix, ghosty sugar decorations, a skull hand mold, brain mold, and spider web, an adorable ghost Cakesicle mold, ghost emoji hot cocoa bomb mold, as well as a Hocus Pocus spatula. To enter the giveaway, you'll need to be subscribed to my channel here on YouTube, then comment below on this video with a ghost emoji and your Instagram name. Then make sure you're following me on Instagram too. I will be announcing the winner on my Instagram story Friday, September 23rd. Thank you so much to everyone for supporting my channel. Halloween is my favorite time of year to make videos for you guys. So be sure to keep on watching and let's create something magical. Winifred's specialty treat are these Spellbook Brownies that are so easy to make, and the potion only calls for a few witchy ingredients. Let's grab some brownie mix, water, egg, and vegetable oil. As for mix, although Ghirardelli is my favorite, I recommend a texture that is more firm, such as Duncan Hines Chewy Fudge, so that they are less likely to fall apart. Sarah used the Ghirardelli by mistake, and after testing a few batches, the other sisters found they were too soft. All you need is to follow the instructions and measurements on the back of your box and pour all the ingredients into your cauldron, aka mixing bowl. Throw a few eyeballs in there, then whip up this spectacular potion until all the ingredients are combined. Winifred is helping me beat everything together with the mixer, then switching off to mixing by hand with a rubber spatula with some extra magic to ensure all the dry powder disappears. It's time to transfer the batter into a 9x9 square pan that has been sprayed with non-stick. The 9x9 makes the realistic shape of the book. I find 9x13 isn't thick enough. Evenly spread the brownie batter in the pan and pop them into bake for about 30 minutes at 350 degrees or until your toothpick comes out clean. These instructions are for the Duncan Hines. Binks is watching them bake, and Mary wants to help us with the decorating. These are small candy eyeballs. Mine are Sweet Tooth Fairy brand from Michael's Craft Store. For reference, I don't use the jumbo size to leave enough room for the other decorations on the book. I cut the brownies into rectangles, and I'm sticking the eyes on with a dot of melted chocolate. When piping, consistency is key. For the details, we're mostly using a stiff consistency chocolate with no thinning agents added, only a looser consistency to fill in the spine. Start by piping a skinny rectangle on the left edge, then outline the eyeball with a keyhole shape. It helps to guide the tip of the bag with your index finger while the brownie is laying flat. Next, pipe a curve on each corner of the book, and this next part is why I like to leave enough room. I'm branching a few longer lines off of the spine, then branching a few shorter lines off of the longer ones. I like to curve the lines instead of leaving them straight for a decorative effect. It reminds me of a little map. To dress him up, Pipe some stitches on top of the curved lines. My tips and tricks for super fine lines are to snip a very small hole off the end of your bag, and these texture decorating bags give you the most control. I break down all the basics of piping designs step by step in my chocolate piping tutorial. Head on over there and watch it after if you need more help with that. Finish filling in the spine with a looser consistency chocolate. To see how much thinning agent is needed to reach loose consistency, refer to the method in my chocolate piping tutorial. After letting the chocolate set for a few minutes, go back in with stiff consistency and pipe a loose zigzag over the spine. Giving it a chance to set before layering on top will create that textured look without blending in. And last but not least, I'm mixing a spooky silver edible paint by taking a small amount of silver luster dust and adding 3 or 4 tiny spoonfuls of Everclear vodka. Feel free to mix in more until it's painting consistency without any thick clumps in the paint. Gently paint over the spine by lightly brushing over the surface with a light pressure, being careful not to break any of the chocolate. And there we have the signature book brownies, and we can undo Binks' spell. These are perfect to throw together for a Halloween party or a quick Halloween movie snack. The second treat that takes center stage in the box is this bubbling cauldron Breakable Heart. Either a silicone mold or 3-part mold will work. However, I personally prefer the 3-part version since it is a one-step process. There's no need to reinforce anything, so it's less likely to crack, and black chocolate appears more shiny in this mold. I pour a generous amount of Ghirardelli chocolate in the bottom layer of the mold and give it a shake to settle it out, making sure it reaches the fill line. Then quickly place the 2 other parts inside the bottom layer. I press on the middle and top layer at the same time to seamlessly distribute the chocolate. As long as you fill the chocolate up to the fill line, it will spread and cover any missing areas. Pop this in the fridge for 15 to 20 minutes, and that's the best part about the 3-part mold is we're all done. This mold is definitely a shortcut. With the silicone, it would need 2 layers and 1 reinforcement layer, which can be a pain in the neck. So I definitely recommend trying the 3-part Breakable Heart. Here, I'm carefully peeling off the inner insert before popping at the heart from the inside. When removing and handling, make sure you're wearing gloves to prevent leaving smudges or fingerprints on the chocolate. And to maximize the shine, it's a good idea to wipe down your mold with clear vodka beforehand. The large amount of oil coloring tends to be dull or leave grease marks. The fun part is molding the letters that go on the heart. I'm using the iconic saying, "I smell children." The easiest method is to fill each letter with piping bags to get all the twists and turns of the font. It's better to slightly overfill than underfill to prevent any holes or cracks in your letters. If you want this mold or any other supplies in this video, it will be linked in my description box down below. Part that many treat makers have difficulty with is popping the letters out without them cracking. The trick is to freeze the letters for 5 to 10 minutes to firm up that chocolate really well, and the letters will be solid and strong enough to pop them out in one piece. Also keep in mind, if you choose to mold all capital letters, the 3-part Breakable Heart is slightly smaller than the silicone one. They do fit, but need to be arranged closer together, or you can mold some lowercase as well. Let's transform this Breakable Heart into a dripping and bubbling cauldron. For our bubbles, I have a 3D sphere mold in several sizes. I molded about 5 batches or 50 bubbles to make enough for the heart, using the same method I showed you for the letters, except in lime green chocolate mounts. I was going to use a pop-in mold until I realized the bubbles are all the same size. That would have been a fail. My favorite way to drip is to put the green chocolate in a plastic squeeze bottle to make a larger, thicker drip effect on the heart. Instead, I stick to piping bags for something smaller like a strawberry. Then I shake on gold Tinker Dust since the Sanderson Sisters like a little sparkle. Tinker Dust is completely edible and FDA approved. Other glitters such as Disco Dust or Techno Glitter are only non-toxic. A no-fail trick to apply the letters is I arrange them exactly where I want to ensure they go in the right spot, because once they're on there with the chocolate, you can't take them off. So arrange everything before, then secure them exactly in the spot you took them from with tiny dots of chocolate. Since they're so tiny, it also helps to guide them on with a toothpick. And Winifred is ready to stoke this cauldron. Start attaching the bubbles individually and alternate the sizes to your liking to cover the heart. This is why you need about 50 minimum, especially if you want to layer some smaller bubbles in there. Keep in mind 50 is for the smaller breakable heart. You will probably need more if you decide to use the larger silicone molds. And finally, our favorite sisters have returned to Salem after lighting the candle on Hallows Eve, along with Binks and a cauldron berry too. These Sanderson strawberries are a very light peachy nude shade. All I did was combine a few drops of Chef Master oil-based coloring in orange and a few drops of Color Mill in latte. If you don't have latte, you can use any yellow oil-based coloring, just something to balance out the orangey colors so we don't give them a spray tan. And I mix the coloring with Sweet Tooth Fairy melts in bright white. Sweet Tooth Fairy are my go-to chocolate melts for dipping strawberries. With any light colors, I double dip or even triple dip to make the coat more opaque. It goes on smoothly as long as the chocolate is fluid enough for dipping. And it's completely optional to stick the strawberries on longer skewers, then stand them up to dry in floral foam, unless you don't mind the flat back. I just find character strawberries especially have a fabulous presentation when they're dipped all around. I finished by dipping a blackberry for Binks and the cauldron, and feel free to dip one in dark chocolate if you want to make a book design. I didn't make one in this video since I made the book brownies. And the first design is the cauldron berry. I put a medium consistency green chocolate in a piping bag. It shouldn't be too loose or too thick to make your drip. Just slightly drag the chocolate down to guide it along. Then with the same medium consistency, pipe a ball and continue by piping a little farther away from the one you just did. Once they start to dry, begin filling up the empty spots closer and closer together. Drying in between will keep the bubbles bumpy even when you layer them. Hold the squeeze for longer or shorter to vary the size of the bubbles, and finish off the marvelous cauldron with a dash of gold Tinker Dust. Now Winifred is going to put a spell on you. First, I'm piping a heart shape with orange chocolate as the outline for her hairline. Once you have the hairline, move the bag back and forth as you pipe to fill in the empty space and make a wavy vertical line for where you want the back of the hair to end. The best part is the hair isn't smooth. Winifred's hair has lots of volume, so the more random the better. I go around in circles to fill in the section, then continue doing the same with the front and other side. It's a lot easier than you think since all of the hair is done in stiff consistency. This first layer lays down the foundation for the next layer, which is all the curls. Next, build up a ball on each side to look like two little buns. I build them up twice to give them more height. Now she's beginning to look like Winifred. After that, cover over the foundation and the buns with curls just by piping little loops. Having the foundation under the loops is what really adds the dimension and texture. Loop-de-loop all around. See guys, it looks more complicated than it really is. Basically, it's the hairline, foundation, and curly waves all done with stiff consistency chocolate. Winnie needs some company, so let's get Mary so she can find the children. I forgot to mention that it helps to use wider strawberries from Mary and Winifred. Her hairline looks almost like half a stop sign, if that makes sense at all. And I'm filling in the foundation the same as we did before, one section at a time. Right now, it doesn't look as curly and crazy as Mary's hair, but it definitely will be once we add all the curls and her curved hairpiece. And I'm going to show you a way to make her crazy hair without a mold. Sometimes others choose to use a witch hat mold, but in case you don't have one, this is another way. It's optional to add short little bangs as a fringe straight across, and this is how to make a chocolate transfer to have the look of her hair without a mold. First, trace the shape on parchment paper and outline directly over it. Then fill it in. If it doesn't look so smooth and appears bumpy, that's fine. We're covering it with curls anyway. However, the key is to make the chocolate transfer thick enough so it doesn't break. So feel free to layer over what you filled to make the piece thicker and less flat. Once it has dried, go ahead and attach the transfer to the top of Mary's head with chocolate as the glue and hold it in place for 10 seconds to secure. As you can see, it's delicate, which is why it's so important that the transfer is thick enough. Then go all out and add lots and lots of curls. Something you should know is if you're planning to do Mary's hair in purple is to add more coloring than you usually would. Purple is the color that fades the most, so it would be a very pale lavender. To keep it vibrant, add more than you think you would need. And we can't forget about Sarah. Part her hair over to the side by starting far to the right, drag it over the front and all the way down. Her hair is the longest, so I bring it down the farthest on each side. Sarah's hair is more of a loose wave, so I fill it in up and down in rows to give an illusion of the length. After, I bring the textured lines over the front and finish the other side. For Sarah's layered side bangs, I pipe separate wisps of hair and loose zigzags for the waves. Soon she'll be ready to sing, "Come Little Children." I keep the face detail simple with little hearts as the lips and a dark pink color. I make the heart for Winifred much smaller to fit her teeth without it appearing too bulky. Pipe a small block underneath the heart with a looser consistency white chocolate and a slanted line for Mary's signature twisted grin. Let's give them a makeover. Dip your brush into hot pink petal dust and shake off the excess, blending it out into circular motions as the blush on Winifred's cheeks. And it's super easy to dab on a black edible marker as the dot for the beauty mark on Mary and Sarah. This trio is looking quite fabulous. For bangs, pipe 2 almond-shaped eyes onto a black chocolate strawberry with yellow chocolate. This can be done in loose or medium consistency, depending on what you're comfortable with, and fill in the outline with looser consistency to eliminate any bumps. Place 2 slits in the center of each eye with stiff consistency and attach on his pair of ears. I made chocolate transfers in a curved triangle shape for that. Hold them down for a few seconds before letting go. And finish with 3 white whiskers on each side. What better way to present Hocus Pocus treats than in a Spellbook box? This large box is from Joann, but if you would like something smaller, say if you're making small boxes of berries or brownies, I found these little spellbooks at Dollar Tree. This one from Joann is roomy enough to fit the Breakable Heart and everything else. I lined the bottom of the box with this gorgeous metallic shredded crinkle paper and placed the strawberries on mini cupcake liners. The presentation for this box is timeless for anything Hocus Pocus theme and sure to thrill your spooky guests or customers. I hope you guys enjoyed making these Hocus Pocus treats with me, and you make them at home sometime before the new movie. Don't forget to enter the Halloween giveaway. It's Christina here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next spooky video.